the 2015 October comet that came close to the Earth. It came closer than the moon. This is where we make the outer surface image connection, which has a black alien 33 on the outer surface of the Halloween comet that came close to the Earth on October the 10th and October the 31st, 2015. The Stealth Pyramid Dome in the Rock image is actually in black Ethiopian cross-shaped building structure located in Lalibela. So this image appears on the outer surface of the comet that came close to the Earth in the year 2015 in the month of October. This means that the black Ethiopian couching lion Sphinx image 5 on the outer edge of the Dome of the Rock 784 window image. So there's a Babylonian Stealth Pyramid image on the side of the Halloween comet surface area, where we see steps, 5 blocks which you stack on top of one another, that they form a step that you walk upon on the left and right side. So this would reveal that the Ethiopian cross-shaped building structure in Lalibela that was carved out of solid bedrock, and the area that was left formed a square. If you jump down in there and look up, you're looking up from the cubic dimensions of New Jerusalem. So the cross image of Nibiru upon the Babylonian Stealth Pyramid temple walls is connected to the Ethiopian cross-shaped building structure in Lalibela, and the Dome of the Rock outer wall 74 Ethiopian cross-shaped building structure in Lalibela window image. Because we see this Gold Birth Stealth Pyramid Mercator projection as the Babylonian Stealth Pyramid of the 12th African continent tribes that was denied in the 400-year-old mistranslated King James Bible in theological racism by the 1611 King of England. As we look at this African alien 33 and Sphinx 5 face on the outer surface of the Halloween comet, we have made one of the greatest archaeological, theological, and astronomical discoveries of our time, because it places the Seal of King Solomon in the center of the cross-shaped building structure 11 in Lalibela and the 784 window image. This places the cube structure of New Jerusalem in Nibiru, the planet of the crossing, or the cross-shaped building structure 11. This is Comet of the October the 30th and 10th, year 2015. Now, Comet ISON is also connected to the Temple Mount and Isaiah 1919 Giza pyramids and the cross image of Nibiru. There's a stone cross building in Lalibela, or Ethiopia, that appears in the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem outer window area. So this is all of the octagonal building structure walls that has the golden dome. We see an Ethiopian cross connected to a comet or stealth pyramid. Now remember, the Halloween comet came so close to the Earth, it's actually an orbiting stealth pyramid. Just like if you stack 5 blocks on top of one another on the left and right side, that they form a step that you walk upon. So we see the Alien 33 of the 1952 online film footage of a great alien filmed inside a U.F.O. He appears on the outer surface of the Halloween comet 2015. Egypt. So the African pyramid in Egypt was placed on the back of the dollar bill, and when the African Sphinx was denied in theological racism by the 1611 King of England, the whole entire African continent was denied, but the African pyramid was placed on the back of the dollar bill. That means some of the African knowledge was kept in America, in the secret societies. Now, when we talk about the eye atop the pyramid, okay, apex. This is something that every black man in America should know. Every Mason should know what Laurel's. Now remember, I'm a high school dropout, and sometimes I have trouble spelling big words, so I'm humbling myself to you. But I'm telling you something about the molecule. Is the doorway into the molecule. It's the doorway into the matrix. Remember that. As a magnetic rotating ball hydrogen line. So when you realize there's a doorway into the matrix, that means it's a doorway into the molecule. And when they don't tell you what a molecule look like in your high school books, biology books, physics books, then the government that is funding the schools in your neighborhood. Okay, all neighborhood schools is funded by the government. And when they're talking about a state-issued textbook, something's wrong. When they tell you a state-issued biology book or math book, something's wrong. If you're a school teacher, you should protest. state-issued math books, state-issued biology books. Because it's a bunch of lies in there. You say what? It's lies to keep you only educated to complete a task, such as build a car or build a machine, right? But you say, well, what are you talking about? I'm saying, if you can go to a high school or go to the White House physics lab and tell them to bring up a real image of the molecule, not a drawing, not an artistic sketch, a real image of the molecule that you currently breathing out of your mouth and that you're currently breathing in through your nose. Now that's a challenge. The first black man in Chicago is challenging physics classes all around the world. Now, you tell these so-called geeks in high school and colleges and on the internet, bring me up a real image of the molecule. First thing they're going to tell you is the government hasn't issued those images out. They said, wait a minute, no, you have a telescope, you have a microscope. You create a lens to show the humans what a molecule look like that you're breathing out your mouth. Now, don't give me a sketch. So when you expose the brainwashing in your high school books, biology books, and math books, someone's behind it. And so you go back to who wrote the math books, who wrote the biology books and physics books, right? And so when we realize that the eye on the back of the dollar bill represents the government, a group of Masons. Now remember, there's good Masons and bad Masons. I'm talking about the six-finger Roosevelt DNA-based Masons that's ruling the world, all right? They decided to place their eye at the top of the apex of the pyramid on the back of the American dollar bill, in front of the sun. And anything in front of their eye is what they're telling the world. You say, okay, what? Remember, the top of the pyramid is the top of the world. Remember that. Because if you place the pyramid in half of a blue basketball-shaped earth, so you put a pyramid inside of a basketball, that's going to show you that the eye on the back of the pyramid is at the top of the earth, North Pole. So the only way to see this, that the eye that's writing your textbooks and biology books and math books through the government is purposely denying what your mind controls in outer space. And what the biblical light of the Bible, 1 John 1:1, that created the 9 planets in our solar system is actually controlling. So all you have to do is put a pyramid inside of a basketball to figure out what Laurel's talking about, the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. Because the pyramid is, the African pyramid is the scale model of half of a basketball-shaped earth. Now, if you can mentally place a pyramid inside of a brown basketball-shaped earth, then the top of the pyramid touches the top of the basketball. That's 90 degrees in geography, the top of the basketball. So the bottom of the pyramid, square, it touches halfway level in the basketball-shaped earth. So that means the square of the African pyramid in Egypt is the Masonic square equatorial area of the globe earth. So if you have a Masonic white eye on the back of the dollar bill at the top of the pyramid, it's at the top of the earth. You say, okay, now what? That's what I'm trying to tell you. We already figured out that the molecular world is what the pyramid represents, and that the matrix is what the molecular world represents. So all the trees, mountains, walls, arms, flesh, all the physical three-dimensional mass is made of molecules. So if you found the doorway into the molecule, you found the doorway into the top of the pyramid, into the top of the earth. So you see a Caucasian devil eye at the top of the pyramid. He found the doorway into the molecular world. So let's break it down. A doorway into the molecule that you're breathing out your mouth. You're saying, whoa, that's heavy, right? So wait. So what are you talking about? I'm saying exposing the liars in the educational system. There's a doorway into the molecule you're breathing out your mouth, okay? That you're breathing in through your lungs. There's a doorway into the molecule. So you say, well, I want you to take a piece of paper or a book. Now fan it in front of your face. Move your hand back and forth in front of your face. Or a piece of paper or something, a book. Just right now, fan a piece of paper in front of your face. What you're feeling is molecular air. Okay? Moving. And in that movement of molecular air, you see millions of molecules of carbon and oxygen and some nitrogen molecules. You say, now what? This is the point I'm getting at. I'm the first black man in America to break down the educational system for what it is, a bunch of lies. Okay, only enough they tell you to keep you working in a machine factory and printing and making computers or whatever. But when they come to the real deal about the molecule, electron, and atom, they're not telling you. So I'm gonna break it down, and I'm gonna tell you that the molecules that you're breathing into your lungs and breathing out, they all have shapes, but they have a specific image. Like the carbon molecule, the oxygen molecule, and the nitrogen molecule. They have 3 different colors to them, and they have 3 different shapes. Okay. But you say, well, what is this shape to this molecule? Well, first of all, you got to see a ball of light in order to identify the molecule. You say, oh, right. You say, so what? I'm breathing out what? You breathing out carbon and oxygen molecules. So let's break it down for the black man. They're not going to tell you this in high school or college. So I'm going to force educational systems around the world, and even the White House. They owe it to America to print on their website what this new latest discovery in physics and atomic physics, and atomic spectroscopy. Okay, American children need to know what what a real molecule of oxygen look like. Not a drawing, not a picture. So you say, so you telling me the high school in Chicago is not showing you what a real molecule look like? Nope. So I'm the first black man to expose every high school in Chicago. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? You breathing out oxygen molecule, and no one in your high school can show you what a molecule look like. But you feel it. You can breathe some air on your. Put your hand in front of your face. Now blow some air on your hand. Those are molecules of oxygen and carbon you breathing out, and they two. Okay, carbon is a molecule, right? And oxygen is a molecule, right? So if we got this blue and green balls of light, okay. That's how we're going to start. Blue and green, carbon and oxygen. So what? Okay, we talking about balls that you breathing out your mouth of air. And so when we say we breathing in carbon and oxygen, and we breathing out carbon and some traces of oxygen and nitrogen. So you saying, well, we breathing out 3 balls. That's right. You say, oh, wait a minute now. Break it down. Okay, so you breathing out into the atmosphere in front of your face 3 color balls. But they don't tell you that. And they don't want to tell you that, because you're going to break the matrix. If the black man figure out that there's a doorway into the molecule in the air, in his room. You say, wait. Wait. You telling me the molecule in front of my face, the air in front of my face, has a door. The air in front of my face, right? Right. You're looking across at the wall. Between you and the wall is air. Okay, I'm gonna break it down. So, what is they lying to the black man in the neighborhood churches and in the college books and high school books? They lying about the molecule and the electron and atom. You say, well, what? Well, there's a doorway that the devil's using, or the white man, okay, or the 6-finger Roswell alien, which is causing all this trouble on Earth in his spaceship, like a naked white man with a bulgy belly in the spaceship. So he pushed buttons, and he's connecting with cell phone waves. That's how he's controlling the Earth and stuff. Just like you on your cell phone in Chicago and somebody in Africa. You can connect to them thousands of miles away through the air. You say, oh, that's what you mean by a doorway in the air. Right. You say, so what they don't tell you is that each molecule has a color to it. So you say, okay, so if you look at the wall, you look at the wall right now. Okay, between you and the wall is air. Okay, now what? See, that's what I'm talking about. Now you're about to get educated. What you've been told in the Bible or in college or high school. So if you look at yourself, look at the wall, look at the street, look at the light post. Between you and that post or you and that wall is air. So now what? Okay, this is where the mystery begins. They brainwash the black man in churches by not telling him what the molecule looks like. Okay, don't give me a script. I mean, a sketch in my biology books or physics books. So you say, well, what? Well, because they know and they're not telling you. They're keeping you purposely in darkness in your high school books, college books, and even the White House. You go to their physics department, you're going to see them bring up a chart of a molecule, which is incorrect. Right? Then you say, well, what's going on? The reason why they show you an incorrect image of the molecule on your computer monitor in high school or physics or biology classes is because they don't want you to break the matrix, which is the molecule itself. See, the matrix is it's a three-dimensional world. The mass, your wall, your arm, your leg, the mountains, the tree, everything's made of molecules. So the doorway into the molecule is the doorway into the matrix. So they show you a real image of a molecule on your monitor, right? Your monitor, your computer monitor. Then it's all over. Because they done showed you what is in between you and the wall. So right now, wherever you at, look at the wall. Or look at the next thing next to you. Between you and that object is air. Air. And air is made of molecules. So you say, what? That's the matrix. You say, oh, so I'm trapped in the matrix. No, you trapped in the molecular world. Your mind, which is greater than a molecule, is trapped in the molecule by a mental thought. So you're thinking, oh, I am nothing but a molecule, right? So as long as you think that you are, for instance, if you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, okay, I see my arm, my legs. You say, this is me. No, that's not you. That's the body that you're in. You say, well, okay, so you're in the molecular body, right? So you have identified with the molecular body, right? The arm, the leg, the eye, right? So you're saying, this is my body. This is me. No, no, no. That's not you. You say, what? That's the body you in. You say, okay, wait, let me break it up. That's the molecular arrangement of molecules you're in. So that's more clear. Okay, so you're in a molecular arrangement of molecules called the human body. Now you say what? The real you is a magnetic rotating ball of hydrogen light. You say, uh-oh. So if my mind is a rotating magnetic ball of hydrogen light, it's generating waves across space. You say, okay, right. Now what? Now those waves are called messengers or electrons. You say, uh-oh. So the real you as a mind is sending electrons into your molecular body. So now you say, okay, so the real me is a magnetic rotating ball of hydrogen light. Right. That's my mind. Right. That's the only thing that came from the sun. That's the only thing that came from 1 John 1:1, biblical light that exists in the black outer region of space before it created the 5 billion world. So when you realize that your mind is controlling your body through its electron messenger, then that means that it is your mind electron messenger that's spilling through your body. So really, when we look at the molecule, which your body is made of molecules, that's why I say you got to break through the molecule. You got to break through the matrix. And what's another word for matrix? The molecule. So don't be lied to again with false Hollywood movies. The matrix is where you're trapped in. That's the molecular three-dimensional mass. Like anything that has length, width, and height occupies space. Like the cup on your living room table. It has length, width, and height, so it's three-dimensional. It has mass. So we just say the three-dimensional world is the molecular world. Trees, mountains, cars, air, even air. Now this is where we get down to the nitty-gritty. What they're not telling you about in high school books and college books. Even the White House. Okay, the White House, their greatest physics and atomic instructors. They are all brainwashed by somebody on the back of the American dollar bill pyramid. You say, oh, you talking about white Masons. I'm talking about negative six-finger rostral alien type Masons controlling the White House structure. You say, wait, I thought President Barack Obama is controlling the White House. Well, just look at President Barack Obama as a beautiful black brother that's been handed a White House mess. Okay, that's all I got to say. And when you look at the mess in the White House, it's the strings coming from the White House to every state in America. And you say, well, what's those strings coming from the White House? Well, it's strings coming from the White House to every state in America. You say, what is that? It's the educational, governmental string. That's the mess that President Barack Obama has been handed. So you say a beautiful black brother has been handed a mess of strings connected to all the states in America. And he got to correct those strings. Because look at the strings coming from the White House to every state in America. You say, okay, if President Barack Obama correct those strings coming from the White House to every state in America, we will have a changed America. You say, what? What are those strings? Okay, let's get a microscope and look at one of the strings coming from the White House to any other state in America. You say, okay, we see an educational string, a road finding string, we see a defense string. You say, well, oh, so you telling me all these streams are coming from the White House to every state in America? Those streams is what's messing up the president's control over America. You say, what? So the black brother can retake control over all the 52 states. That's right. By controlling the streams coming from the White House. So you say, okay, nobody ever told the black man that in his neighborhood church or in his neighborhood high school, that President Barack Obama can control all the streams coming from the White House to every state in America. But you say, what is the stream that would change overnight everything? It's the educational string.